Joining me now to discuss this is Carole White, former model and founder of Premier Model Management. Her former clients include Naomi Campbell, Claudia Schiffer and Linda Evangelista. And also I'm joined by Natasha Devon, a former model herself and founder of the campaign group Self-Esteem Team. Carole, New York Fashion Week just finished. Were the models there too thin?
Well, my Fashion Week starts tomorrow, actually.
Are the models going to be too thin?
I don't think so, no. There's just all shapes and sizes, but in the catwalks, the models are tall and lanky.
Looking at New York, Natasha, Victoria Beckham calls a bit of a row with some of the models she did use, actually. What's your view on it?
Well, I think when we talk about models and when we talk about the fashion industry, it's very important to be clear about what element of the industry we're talking about.
Yeah.
Retail, so shop windows, magazines, mannequins, is the wallpaper of our world, and it does affect the way that we feel about beauty.
And this is the Victoria Beckham show, I believe, here.
Yeah, catwalk, like the Victoria Beckham show, I would argue is slightly removed from reality.
Okay.
That, we work with 500 teenagers a week, and I've never heard a teenage girl say, I want to look like a catwalk model, because I don't think that that's the paradigm that they're aspiring to. This
is the point, though, Carole, isn't it? There are teenagers on the catwalk. Victoria Beckham used a 17-year-old American model called Peyton Knight to show clothes which are not going to be bought by 17-year-old girls. They're more likely to be bought by, you okay?
Excuse me,
it's
sorry.
all right. More likely to be bought by women who are in their 40s, 50s and 60s.
Yeah, but
So why use teenagers to sell to
Because on the catwalk it's a dream and it's an aspiration. And I think most women, when they're looking at the catwalk, they're looking at the clothes, and it's just not real. They're not saying, God, I could look like that, but they're looking at the clothes, and it's just a fact of the life of a model that they start with very young girls.
So is this MP of France, Israel, are they wrong to limit how thin models are?
Well, I sort of question the France bit. I know they've just brought it in, but you will see.
You'll see if it actually works, you mean?
It won't. I don't personally, I don't believe BMI and how that as a measurement for, everyone's different. And
yes.
I think it was developed for athletes and men athletes as well. So I think it's a bit of a load of baloney, actually. It's just that no one knows how to define what is good and what is bad. And effectively, you have young girls that are skinny and lanky, and they change when they get to about 19 and they become curvier. And as you grow older, your body shape changes. And as you're a model and you grow older, your type of work changes.
Which is a good point, Natasha. I know you agree with that on BMI. It's not a particularly exacting way of measuring anyone's body shape, whether they're considered to be obese or too thin. Let's have a look at this model in Sweden. Her name's Agnes Hedengard. She posted a video speaking out against the standards expected, despite herself being thin. Have a listen to this.
According to the model industry, you cannot look like this. You need to be thinner. And I have been in contact with big agencies and clients that really wants to work with me, but as soon as they get a hold of my measurements, it's a whole nother story.
Because she's not considered skinny enough?
That doesn't surprise me, having worked in the industry. I think the watchword here has to be diversity, because we have to be very wary. There are people who are naturally slender, and we don't want to make those people feel like their body shape is in any way unacceptable or dangerous, or any of these words that are thrown around in relation to size zero models. We need to include thin people in our spectrum of beauty and also people at the other end of the scale. But I don't necessarily agree that high fashion is the world or the sphere within which to do that.
Just very briefly, Carole, you work with some of the biggest names, the women who define the word supermodel, Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, but they were more shapely, for want of a better word. They did have hips and they did have boobs, didn't they? So do you lament the fact that things have changed a bit?
Well, I don't actually agree that it's changed. I think the body shapes of models now, the clients want actually curvier girls. So the press obsesses on the shows, but it's just such a small percentage of what we do, and it's just a look that we look for. So I don't think it has changed. I think, when I first started in this career years ago, a B cup was a big boom.
Okay.
And now a double D, we have many clients asking for double D. So you can see that there's been a big sort of switch from nothing on top or,
to a fuller figure.
Yeah.